I taught you how to color grade your video on CapCut. Now we're going to learn how to do the same on Premiere Pro. And if you haven't, I think you should go back, watch the previous video and see what we discussed about color grading. I really went deep into things like shadow, exposure, highlights, temperature, tints, and saturation. We also even talked about the hue, saturation, and lightness. And I think that if you have not watched that video, you should go back to watch it, because that is the foundation of everything, especially if you know in your heart of hearts that color grading is not something that you really understand that much. You should go watch that video, because in this video I would just basically be going through how to do the same thing that I've done on CapCut on Premiere Pro. And remember, this is a series. I'm making a series on how to move from CapCut to Premiere Pro. I'm teaching you everything that you need to know if you are making that transition. I'm practically making your transition in smooth. It's more like you're someone living in Canada and now you want to move to the US. I'm your guide, right? And I'm telling you the pros and the cons and the things that you should learn. And now we're looking at how to color grade on Premiere Pro. Now let's dive right into it. Okay, so right here I am on Premiere Pro already. My assets, I brought everything in and my timeline is set and ready. I already made a video to explain how this timeline works on Premiere Pro. The link will be in the description, so make sure you check it out and learn a few things about this whole interface. Okay, at the moment we are on the essentials interface. If you don't know, Premiere Pro has so many interfaces, or I should call them workspace, and depending on what you want to achieve, you can change your workspace or your interface, whichever one you choose to call it. And when you change your workspace or your interface, which we are going to do in a minute, everything will automatically adjust and all of these panels will move to different places based on what your focus is right now. You can see here now there's nothing like color grading here because we are on the essentials panel, and this essentials panel is basically what I would advise you stay with if you're just getting started, except if you want to do a particular thing like we want to do in this video. To move to the color panel or color workspace, you can come right at the top here. Now this is Premiere Pro 2024 on my MacBook, and workspace is found right at this corner. But if you're using other versions, you might need to move your mouse to the top, and under maybe view you look for workspace or something. Okay, or yeah, it should be somewhere around here at the top. You can navigate it. I'm sure you are smart as that. I'm sure your mind will be able to figure that out if you check at the top, especially if you're also using a Windows PC. That's that for that. But if you're using a MacBook M1 2021 or whichever version, actually I should even say if you're using the Premiere Pro 2024 or 2025 or whatever, then you should have this workspace button here. So when you click on the workspace, just go to color. This is color here. Click on the color panel, and you've seen that everything basically changed, and you see that now it is showing this diagram. And here we have the Lumetri Color. The Lumetri Color is the panel where you do and undo anything that is related to color and color grading. So you want to have this Lumetri scope, you want to have it selected here, and you also want to make sure that you have Lumetri Color. Lumetri scopes and Lumetri Color are two different things. Lumetri Color is where you change your color settings, while Lumetri scope is where you read your colors. You basically use this to guide you, and I will teach you how to read this. This is not going to be like 100% teaching you how to read this thing bit by bit, or maybe the only course you need to watch to know how to read colors or how to read the color scope. Okay, because I do not think that I've learned everything about reading this. Okay, but so far I know that I have learned so much about it that I can teach you something that can get you started, right? And in the future you can learn more about it, and I'm sure what I would teach you is going to be valuable. Like, I am that confident in what I'm teaching. So now we are having a video here, and this video is actually overexposed. Do not mind what you're seeing. Premiere Pro is not, especially on my MacBook, when I bring in videos that are overexposed, it doesn't look too much overexposed, but it is actually. And in case you have not watched the other video, you can, like I said earlier on, go watch it. What I mean by overexposed is that that's too much white. Okay, the color, the white is too much. Basically, the brightness, I should say. You can see how it looks so unnatural. So now the way we fix that, and I mentioned in the other class that color correction is different from color grading. Color correction is when you are taking the footage back to the original color. You want to try to get it to a normal color, and color grading is when you are actually editing the color to give off a particular mood. For example, you could want your video to tend towards a bluish kind of vibe and color depending on your brand and the mood you're trying to communicate. And now it is not only color grading that will do that for you, also your setup where you're recording. All of these things are technical, right? So but now let's just focus on color correction. So you want to move to basic Lumetri Color. Make sure your Lumetri color panel is here, and the way I came here now is I double tap on that panel, okay, so it just showed me the expanded view of it. So if you want to move back, just double tap on it again, and for the shortcut of that, there is a button on my laptop. I don't know what it is, but I'll definitely show it on the screen. There's this button. Whenever I select, you see this white outline that is showing in the project panel right now. If I come here and I select this panel and this white outline is showing, and I press a certain button, I think the button before the number 1, around where you have your F1 to F12, the button is below F1 key, but right before the number 1 on your keyboard. If you press that button, it's going to show you the expanded view of whatever panel you are working on, and if you press it again, it will go back. So that's what I use sometimes, but other times I also double click with my mouse, so that's something. So the same thing for my program monitor or for my program panel, I can click on that button, click on it again, click on it again, click on it again. Okay, so let's dive right into it. And now we want to color correct this video, and what we've seen, this video is overexposed. The first thing that we are going to do is decrease the exposure, and how we do that is come to the Lumetri Color. I'm under basic correction, so I click the arrow to show everything I have under basic correction. And in the other video I told you that before you even color grade, you should actually color correct. Make sure you have the correct video content or color content, or the right, let your video just look normal, okay, so you can reduce the exposure. And now you will see that as I'm reducing the exposure, the Lumetri scope, this scope right here, the colors that were touching this edge before are now coming down. Now let me show you this. Now it is at 0. You see, when you see this thing hitting the ceiling, okay, what it means is that your video is actually overexposed. I have another video that is overexposed here. You can see that red is hitting the ceiling here. Ideally, you don't want anything to hit the ceiling. Everything should just be balanced. And this is hitting the ceiling, and even below it, you can see it is hitting the bottom too as well. So a video that is balanced will not have this happen to it, okay? And compare that to this video that has just the right color grading, everything is smooth, maybe not 100% smooth, but it's looking good. It's just small portions of it that are touching the ceiling, which you can actually adjust, but it's not a problem, I think. So you can see your red, green, and blue, they are kind of almost aligned, and they are not all hitting the ceiling. Compared to this is to the extreme, okay? And you can see how it consistently touches that part throughout the movement. So the same thing with this as well. So that means that video is overexposed, and I think I do not have any other video that is overexposed. Do I? Nope, no other video, no other video. So now, but you see, when I decrease the exposure, this goes down, right? So I don't want it to go down too much unless my footage will become flat. So I want to take it to this point, just a little bit below where it was before. And to see the impact of what I've done, I'll just come to the top, and this FX button here, I toggle it on, off, on, oh no, off right now. And this is before, this is after, this is before, this is after. So that I have reduced the exposure a little bit. I could go on to do something more. And then I come down to shadow as well. I could increase the shadow. Now you can see that as I'm increasing or decreasing the shadow, it is moving up. Only the bottom part here is moving as I'm changing the value of the shadows, okay? I will do the proper thing with this video, but for now, I want to show you exactly what you should pay attention to here. So now you see how this is moving as I'm moving the shadow, okay? If I increase the shadow, this is moving up. It means that if I'm increasing this will move up, and if I decrease it, okay, it is coming down. You don't want it to be like this, okay? This has too much shadow then. So if I am actually making a correction on this, I'll just, it was like this before, so I could bring it down a little, toggle on, off. So you can see that this is the before, after. So everything is much better now. It's not too bright. The black is coming out better. Every other color is showing up well. In fact, it's looking good like this. So you could adjust the exposure a little bit more, whether you increase or you decrease it. Like I said in the other video, I trust my eye even more than this scope, actually. I trust my eye more than this scope. I do not know if anyone has any controversy about that, but that's just how I choose to build myself and my skills. Even if I'm editing in a software that doesn't have all of this, I'm still able to look at my video and tell if what I'm doing is okay. So I am looking at this video, looking at it, and I'm looking to see if I like what I'm seeing. And I think I have this reddish look on his face that I don't like. So I'm going to, if I'm adjusting the contrast is going to adjust both the exposure and highlights at the same time. It's going to spread out the color, the contrast. I've explained what contrast is in the other video, so you can watch that. So this is before, this is after, this is before, this is after. So this is better. I could also decrease the highlights. I do not like this. It's not looking good. Okay, so now we have something good enough. I think I only added this view to it, and basically you can see this scope if you want to by double clicking or click down this particular scope and turn on the parade. I'm using the waveform now. If you turn this on, this will show. Okay, so I can turn it off, and this is what I use most of the time. Now I can begin adding more colors to this. If I am doing this, I already explained what all of this mean in the other video, so you can watch that. So I can add some blue to this, increase the temperature a little bit to make it look bluish. And the saturation, if I increase the saturation, no, not good. So I can, basically what I'm doing is making the video have this, generally have the blue temperature, and that's why I'm moving towards the blue side. Okay, if I wanted it to have this orange or teal look, I would move this place. Okay, so generally speaking, the lighting in this setup is poor, but then it doesn't mean you cannot do something to make it look better than it was before. Okay, and that's what we're doing right now. Now I will move to the next. This is just basic correction. You use this mainly for color correction. Now for color grading, you can, I think I already explained what this is. This is your lookup table here, and I'm not using that adjustment. All right, I do not always use this, but I can. For this particular video, I would show you how to use it, but for right now, this is not what I need. This is under the creative, and basically it is just, maybe you want to make your shadow look more of this particular color. Remember, your shadow refers to the dark parts, while your highlights refers to the bright parts. So if you want the dark part of your image to look this certain color and the highlight to look that certain color, you can use this curves. Is it curves I'm looking for? Use saturation and lightness. All right, this is the RGB curves, and I use this. Now what this does is, like the way on our CapCut we have the hue, saturation, and is it lightness or brightness, the HSL, I think we have it on CapCut. This is similar to that. Okay, what this does is it isolates a particular color on your footage and allow you to adjust that. Now remember, your hue is your color. So when it says hue, saturation, curves here, it is talking about, remember that saturation means the intensity of your color. It's saying how intense do you want a particular color to be, and you can go on to just select the color you want to adjust if you know the color and you think that you can on your own pinpoint the exact color. But it also allows you to use this eyedropper tool. If you click on it, and let's say you want to adjust this, let me click on it. I think it has selected some things before. Let me just Ctrl Z. So I click on my eyedropper tool and I click on this L here. Now you can see that it has automatically created keyframes. So this is the first keyframe, the second keyframe, and if you know how keyframes work, it means that whatever is in between, if I'm moving this now, this tool won't adjust, like, so that every other thing, every other color is not affected. Okay, so that's the purpose of keyframes. Even in actual editing, it is quite similar. Okay, because very soon I would be releasing a video on keyframes and how to use them for YouTube editing, basically. So now that I've isolated this particular color, you will see that if I take it down, everything that has that color in it basically go down, like this lion and this. Now I already told you that before you do color grading, you should know what you want to achieve. You should look at the footage and say, oh, I want the blue behind it to be brighter, I want to have more blues. That tells you, or that guides you towards what tool you are going to use to achieve that. All right, you are the master here, you are the creative. All the tools you have here don't make you a better creative. Okay, they just make you express your creativity. So now I could increase this, and this is looking quite good. You see this color is popping out. Now if you want to do the same for blue, you can also click your eyedroppers, go to where the blue that you want to adjust is coming out well. If you want to do this blue here, you can click on this, and now you can see that it has automatically select that color. So if I give it more blue, look at what I'm getting. If I bring down the blue, I think both works. Okay, it depends on what you want to do. If I don't want people to be looking at the back, if I don't want the focus to be at the back, I could reduce the saturation, the intensity of that blue. But if I want to give off this vibe and I want people to see my back, the backlight should be high, I could have this. Okay, but I don't know, I think I like this better. I like this where it's not too, the black is blue, I mean, it's not too much. And yeah, now you can see our clip is tending towards something like cool, right? And that is basically the purpose of this hue versus saturation. Now the purpose of this hue versus hue is color is hue. So if you want to change the color of a particular footage, you use this. So for example, you want to change the color of this blue, and you take this up. Now notice something, the line look at the line here, just look at my hue versus hue, this graph, look at it. You can see that I have this orange, blue, yellow, green, this line that I'm dragging my keyframe on. Basically it has a lot of colors, so whatever color I want, I could just select. So everything that is blue will change to that color. For example, if I'm on red now, everything that is blue in this footage will change to red. Okay, so let's assume you want to change everything that is blue to light blue, or to green, or to yellow, or to orange, or to purple. You want to change it like that, then this is what you will use. Okay, but I don't think I have any need for this. I just wanted to show you how to use that. Now Now, hue versus luma. Luma basically means brightness. Saturation is different from brightness. Brightness is brightness, while saturation is increasing the intensity of something, while brightness is basically making that thing brighter. They are two different things. You could intensify the fire that is coming out of your gas. Well, it could make it brighter, but when you are making something brighter, it doesn't mean that it is intensified. Well, it is intensified, but it is not necessarily as intensified as that. For example, I think the best way to do this would be to show you the example right here. So let's say I'm selecting this my eyedropper tool. I'm selecting what color. Let's still work with the blue color. I select this color, and you can see that the line that I'm working with here, it is from white to blue or to black. Okay, basically all the shades of blue are on this line. So if I want to make it brighter, I take it up. If I want to make the blue darker, if I want to have this dark feeling before, after, I'm checking this mark here. This is before, this is after. I think I could make do with this. What I did is I made the blue darker. Here it is a different thing entirely, right? You can see that the line I'm using here is making the blue bluer. Now that's the difference between saturation and luma. Okay, saturation intensifies that color. Luma makes it brighter or darker. Luma makes it brighter. Basically, luma means brightness, while saturation means intensify. So saturation can make the blue bluer, while luma can make the blue brighter in terms of white or darker in terms of black. So luma versus saturation, what this does is it picks a color, and you can now increase the intensity of the brightness of the color. And this is best seen in practice, because I know what I said is a bit technical. So now I select this blue again, and if I take it up, it's increasing the intensity of that. You might not necessarily notice it unless you do the before and after that I do. So let me take it down completely, and I do before, after. Before, you can see how this blue is coming out. Let me zoom in so you see it well. Now this is before, this is after. You can see now, if you can see my screen well, the blue here has now, like, it's not bright anymore, it's now dark. It has this blackish something in it. Now if I increase this, the blue comes up. It's just something little, one little change. Before, after. If you pay attention well, you are going to see the difference. Before, after. I'll just zoom into that point. Before, after. Now that is what that is. This is luma. Luma means brightness. Saturation means intensity. So I select a color, I take it up, it increases the intensity of the brightness of the color that you selected, while if I take it down, it decreases the intensity of the brightness, not the actual color, but the brightness of the color. Okay, I think you should watch this video several times and you will understand what I'm trying to explain. Okay, I'm just trying to make sure you understand the principles. I'm not completely focusing on doing stuff that makes you see me as this very good editor. I'm here to teach, not here to impress. All right, that's that for that. And then saturation versus saturation basically means how the intensity of that color that you have selected is. Now let's take an example for that. For this time, let's pick this yellowish color, and if I increase the saturation, you can see how bright the brightness of that color is, and if I decrease it, you can see how less saturated that color is. You see, all of these things, like I said, they are just tools. I do not want you to be overwhelmed. Okay, sometimes you can actually do everything you want to do with just this hue versus saturation and hue versus luma and hue versus hue, and you leave every other thing. Like I said earlier on, you just need to know what you want to achieve before going to color grade. Now if you come here without no idea of what you want to do, then you will not be able to do anything. Okay, because you didn't have an idea of what you want to do in the first place. So I explained this because I think this part of the Lumetri Color panel is important. Okay, that's why I took my time to explain each and every one of them, and I think I'm done here. So overall, we can come here to view before and after. Now look at how balanced that is. Look at how we have tuned down the purple that is showing in the video, and now everything is more blue and the color is just better basically. Now let us look at the color wheel. I would be honest with you, I barely use this. That's just what I would tell you. I know how to use it, but I've not had plenty reasons to use it. But the way to use it, this mid-tones has to do with the skin color basically. So if you increase this, it increases the intensity of the color of the skin. Okay, basically it focuses on that, but it affects the overall video. Everything that has the same color as his face is also affected. That's why you see that the face detection is on. Okay, mid-tones are usually meant for the natural skin tones of humans. So if I double tap this, I am back here. So if I want to, maybe I see that the skin tone is not looking natural, it's looking too reddish. I want to let him have a particular skin tone. I could move this to that particular color. For example, the blue, I could now increase the intensity of that and decrease this or decrease that, but I do not need that. If I want to do the same for the shadow, I bring this down a little. Maybe I want to let it tend towards this dark part, and then I increase the highlight a little bit. Now there's more contrast between everything you have in this video. Unlike when you add this, everything just look the same and like too bright. But now when you do this, you see you have this HSL secondary. I've never used this, and vignettes. I think I've explained what vignette is. If you want to add, the amount towards this side is white, towards this side is black, and how round it is, and the feather and the midpoint. I barely use this as well. When I want to, I have it as part of my effects. Okay, so the HSL secondary, I have really not had any reason to use it. Okay, so then the curves, creative, I can just come back here because I'm seeing something about the shadow. I can increase the shadow a little bit. I think basically that's it. If I want to increase the saturation, no, increasing the saturation doesn't make it look good. The light on his head is showing on his face, and that's what is causing this issue we are having with his face not having the right skin tone, because I don't think this skin tone is completely perfect for me. It is better than it was, right? It is just not my taste. I would ask another recording, especially if the person can afford to do that, if I was the actual person that made this video. Okay, so I think I have shown you the things that you need to know to get started. Again, this is not the only thing you need to know about color grading. This is just something you need to know to get started. I have explained everything step by step, and you can see before we did anything to this video and after. If you can make a video go from this to this, you are on your way. And I intentionally did not try to impress you with this video because I am actually here to teach. Okay, so before and after, before you could see where everything was touching, I already explained what this means and what this means as well. Okay, if your clip is touching here, then it is overexposed. Okay, either one color is too much. For this one now, you can see the red, blue, and some shades of green as well. Okay, saying all the color, they are hitting the ceiling, they are all overexposed, right? We don't have too much red here, right? We have more of blue, and yeah, I think we have some red and green. Green is not much, is what I wanted to say, because look at the video, you don't have much green. That's why your green is at the bottom. Okay, so your green is not really touching the edge because the video has not so much green, and the video categorizes this light as, what's it called, red, the blue in the background as blue, even his face somewhat between red and blue. So, and this is before, this is after. We now brought it down, okay, because we wanted it to have this cool vibe. We went for this blue-ish temperature. We increased the temperature to blue. We increased the saturation of the blue. We also increased the saturation of this color. We decreased the brightness of that color a little bit just to make it have that darkish feeling a little bit. And then that's basically what we did. And yep, I think if you are able to do that, you have gotten started. Okay, what will be left for you is to improve. All right, thank you so much for watching this video. If you got value from this video, like it, because I have realized that when you like a video, YouTube thinks it is valuable enough and it shows other people, and that way you are helping other people to also learn what you learn without much effort, by just you liking the video, right? And also subscribe, because you are going to be getting more of this kind of videos where I'm going to selflessly teach the things that have taken me time and money to learn about video editing and video marketing. And why am I doing this? I'm doing this because I actually want to empower people with skills, okay? And really, this is just beyond you watching this video. I plan to build this channel to monetize the channel, and for a start, make $100 off this YouTube channel, $100 per month. And what I'll be doing with that amount of money is, there are people in my environment where I am. I'm in a third world country, and I know there are people that are actually here who do not even have access, like you, to YouTube or even to Premiere Pro. Like, you have a very good laptop if you're using Premiere Pro. I'm so fortunate to be using a MacBook laptop where I am right now, and I'm very grateful for that. Okay, but not everyone has that opportunity. So I want to be able to extend the opportunity to them, okay, by way of hosting educational programs, by way of hosting skill acquisition training, where they literally do not pay anything, because whatever revenue is coming from this YouTube channel is going to serve that purpose. And yeah, that is just what I want to do. And if this resonates with you, I am not enforcing you to do this, but if it does, hit the subscribe button. And I just want to keep making videos that are going to be valuable to you. And don't watch them unless they are very valuable. And also, I value your feedback. If you think I taught something the wrong way and you could correct me, the first thing that makes a teacher is the fact that he learns. So I am very open to your feedback, and I trust that I'll be able to produce more videos that are valuable and teach you what I know, right? And I know that this skill set has helped me to build a life that I always dream of. That's video editing. So I know it is also going to help other people as well. And that is why I choose to teach this. Okay, so have a wonderful day, and remember to subscribe. Okay, I've told you the purpose of this channel. All right, and hit the like button, drop a comment. I want to hear from you. I will respond to your comments myself. Have a wonderful day. Bye.